Hello and welcome to Sons of Olympia. I'm Matt.
And I'm George, and we're brothers.
And our parents are Olympians.
We are the two sons of Olympian parents who have failed to fulfill their genetic potential.
And like all underachieving children, we have decided to start a podcast.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to episode 8 of Sons of Olympia. We are now 1 month since we've started to launch our podcast, so celebrating our 1-month-old birthday. And in that time, we have covered the Winter Olympics, had a spontaneous interview with Crammy. We've been followed by Danny Gray-Thompson, and we've had a couple of viral-ish clips. So thank you very much to everyone who's been supporting us over the last month. I thought I'd start this episode by saying, Matt, what have your highlights been since we've started this podcast?
Wow, there's been quite a few. I think if you'd reeled off that list when we started this podcast, I probably would have laughed in your face. I mean, Danny Gray-Thompson following us, absolutely delighted with that. Alison Kirbishley popping up in our messages to link us up with her partner, Crammy. It's the viral stuff. I mean, me declaring I'm a 6'5" athletic monster. 50,000 people, I think, have watched that now. That's crazy. So, I'm growing. I have stopped growing though. I think I have stopped at 6'5". So I'm delighted with the first month.
Yeah, I think my highlights probably were right at the start when we first launched and getting that initial feedback, mostly from the fan group chat, just everyone supporting us there. Started to get that feedback, that belief from the friends and family.
Yeah,
that we can do this.
Definitely.
What have you learnt?
Well, what I've learnt is that we are already in the top 10% of podcasts because most die after episode 4. So the fact that we have now on episode 8, we are top tier. We're approaching the top 8%. So yeah, next stop's Stevie Bartlett.
We're coming for you, Steve. Yeah. And I think we're getting better. Listening back to episode 1, we've definitely improved. So that's good. But
We'll see. Any comments from our listeners on, a stop, start, continue, if you were, some 360 feedback, we're welcome to it. So pop your feedback in the comments.
And, we still don't have that many listeners. So if you do ask us a question, it will be read out on the podcast. This is your opportunity to feature.
Absolutely, it will.
All right. What are we going to be talking about today then, brother?
Right, Winter Olympics is over, so we have to find something else to talk about, and we are. Don't worry, this is not bottom of the barrel stuff. Turns out there is a lot of stuff going on, and as we said before, this isn't just a news channel. But saying that, something came to my attention today. Well, this week, George, that I think you'll be interested in because it's about the marathon, and obviously you are training for a marathon at the moment. I don't know if this will inspire you or not, but Seville Marathon. Wasn't that long ago, a week or so ago, and it's a fast one. But what made the news was a guy called Mohammed El Yamani. I think that's how you pronounce it. He ran a 2:28 marathon, so fast, right?
That is fast.
But it's not like a winning time, right? I don't know, what wins a marathon these days, 2:04, 2:05, something like that. Why is 2:28 making the headlines? Well, turns out Mohammed is 61 years old.
No way. That is actually mad. 2:28, I reckon, is like sub 3 minute 30, I would guess, per kilometer, which is like so fast. That's like insane.
It is insane. So you're right. It is sub 3:30. It's 3:32 minute kilometers. If you're in minute miles, it's 5:40. So whichever way you calculate this stuff, this is so fast. And it's a world record for his age group of 60 to 64. And he broke the previous world record. And I was thinking, surely this has smashed the world record, but it's only broke it by 34 seconds, which I guess in marathon terms is quite big. But wow, there's some really fast, oldish guys out there.
Yes. Yeah, that is very interesting because I remember hearing that marathon is one of those distances that you actually can I'm not sure exactly what age it is that you like peak, but it's like much later than sprint distances and things like that. I want to say like late 30s, maybe even. Some people are hitting their PBs in the marathon, but it's crazy that you can still be just doing the distance at all when you're in your 60s, let alone racing it at insane
I know,
times. Because that is
it's
mad.
wild, but there's more to this as well. So, it was his first marathon in 3 years. So he's been out of running for a little while, or at least competitive running. But he claims he has not run for 2 years due to a number of injuries. I'm sorry, Mohammed, I am not buying you have not run for 2 years, and then you decide to do it again and do 2:28.
You're lying
don't
to
know,
us,
but-
Mohammed. Let's see your Strava. Let me see your Garmin stats right now. I want to see. I want to see your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability. Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, but there's also, I did more stuff on Mohammed. This guy is insane. So Mohammed was a late bloomer in running, only started running when he was 31 years old. And he goes, I'm going to start with, it was inspired. I think he saw something in the news about a half marathon. Anyway, he entered one. And his first half marathon, he ran in 1:19, 1 hour 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How does that compare to what your estimated time is for the Sheffield Half in a few weeks' time?
I'm not training my butt off, but I'd have to quit my job and go into a training camp to even, in fact, I don't think I could even make the time then. Yeah.
So shout out Mohammed. That's
So
crazy.
shout out Mohammed. Imagine if this guy had taken up running, in his teens or something, he would have been a beast. And I think he still holds records, age group records, like for age 55 in like the 3,000 meters, the 5K. His 5K time is 15:32. In his 50s. His 10K is 33 minutes and 8 seconds. Yeah, he's just a monster, basically.
I love that. And I think that this is as inspiring as hearing about anyone who's been at like the Olympics or something, because I think especially we're at the age, you know what I mean? I'm early 30s still, you're mid, that we're at the age where we're like way past our peak in loads of sports, do you know what I mean? So now when we're watching them, it's like, oh, maybe I could have done that. So it's nice to hear a story where it's like, oh, maybe there's still hope for us. Maybe I'll still be PBing in the marathon when I'm in my 50s.
This is it. I think you can probably feel quite disheartened when you get older that I'm not going to I can't improve anymore. I'm like past improving anymore. So it's just about maintaining, just sort of slowing the decline as much as I can. But Mohammed is proof that you can still improve. So, and he had this very French quote speaking to the media after, which I thought was fantastic. So I'm going to read it to you, George.
Please do.
I am a seed. Every time I am buried, I am reborn. More than ever, growing old can wait.
Give it to me again. Every time I am buried, I grow. Is that what he said?
Let me read it again.
One more time.
I am a seed. Every time I am buried, I am reborn. More than ever, growing old can wait. I think I delivered it better the second time.
Yeah, that was good. We'll use the second take. That's powerful.
It is powerful. I think if you're only French people can just conjure that up, you're knackered after a marathon and you just spout something like that out. It's like Eric Cantona-esque, incredible.
Because normally you're at the finish line. If someone was to put a mic in my face at the end of running for probably 4 hours, realistically, how was that? I'm not going to come up with something poetic about being a seed. I'll be like, oh, it's really hard. I'm knackered. My nipples are sore.
Where's my mummy?
Do you know if there's any chocolate bars in the finisher's bag?
Anyway, so
that's great.
Mohammed, legend.
Mohammed.
And then I went down a little bit of a longevity rabbit hole.
Okay.
Are there some more longevity kings out there, of which there are. Have you heard of the pen relays? I don't expect you to, because iron, and I think it's a niche thing. But
I don't think so.
no. So the pen relays is an athletics event hosted annually at Franklin Field by the University of Pennsylvania. So it's in the US. It's the oldest and largest track meet in the US, held over 5 days, and more than 15,000 athletes from across North America and also the Caribbean islands. So they all come to Philadelphia to compete in over 400 races. Okay. But what's unique here is that there's loads of age category races. I didn't go into all of them because they are, as I said, there are 400 races. So to dive into all of them would take forever. Yeah. But the one that seemed to make headlines was the 80 plus, that's age, the 80 plus 100 meters. The men's 80 plus 100 meters,
okay.
which was won last year by Dominic Stellato or Stellato. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, by Dominic, who was 82 years old, and he ran it in 16:02.
Wow!
Right, you might think like it's hard to know what good is, right?
Yeah,
82, and you are sprinting is a feat in its own, surely.
Yeah. That's still fast.
16 minutes is fast.
16 seconds.
Right.
16 minutes might have been more.
16,
I was imagining. They might finish.
Sorry.
It's like those baby races where it's like, come this way, come this way. They're holding like slippers and a newspaper at the finish line. Come on.
I mean, maybe they are.
But clearly not. 16 seconds is still very fast.
It is. And I was like trying to find a way to put this in perspective. And so I went on ChatGPT and was like, what's the average speed of a 30-year-old man or something? And I think it was like 14 to 16 seconds is if you just ripped an average 30-year-old off the street. So Dominic is pretty good. And also what I found was like, if Dominic was in Usain Bolt's world record run in Berlin in 2009, where he ran 9 seconds 58. Where do you think Dominic would be in that race in terms of distance covered? By the time Bolt finished, where do you think Dominic, running at 16 seconds 02, where do you think he would be?
He would be under halfway, wouldn't he? Because Bolt did it in, I would say, let's say he covered 55 meters.
Wow, that's pretty good estimation. He would have run 59.8 meters, so just under 60 meters, which Bolt, world record run, and you ran 60 meters.
Yeah.
I actually think that's insane.
Yeah. It's something that they should do
only 40 meters away.
Yeah. It's something they should do loads more in running events. Show like the average person. Obviously, this guy's not average, 82 doing that, but just to like get it in your head how fast it's going. They should have like, on Mario Kart, sometimes you could race against like a ghost that's like you on the previous lap or whatever. It'd be great to show the average speed, or even like previous Olympic finals or something. They could do like that would be interesting to see.
All this stuff is crazy when you get the perspective of what Olympians achieve, because I remember at school they used to, at the long jump pit, they used to measure out the world record, and it would be like almost we wouldn't obviously create a long jump pit big enough, because like what's the point? It would be like you couldn't comprehend as a child or as a teenager that someone can jump that fast, or even you do a high jump as well, and you're just like, you can't comprehend the ability to do it. Mom
and Dad used to do this. After their successful athletics careers, they were both teachers, and they would do like a little athletics club after school or something. And when I was like 16, 17, I'd help them after school with like the after school club. and they would do it. They would
Mm.
like get their little long jump and they'd mark out the world record, or get the kids to like guess how far the longest is. And I think the long jump is one of those ones that is mind blowing when you
It
see it,
really
as well as the triple
is.
jump. They would do the triple jump one as well, which is, I don't know, it's like 17 meters or something, isn't it? And
No,
that one,
it's long. It's over
is it?
18.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah, I think we'll do an episode on world records, but the
Yes.
long jump and triple jump are world records that are have been held for a long time. Jonathan Edwards, we'll get onto
Mm.
this with dream guests. He would be one of my dream guests because, damn, that is he's so unassuming, but that jump is out of this planet. But anyway, we digress.
I just wanted to
Pen
just
relays.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Just you're talking about like average sprinters or average speed of a 30-year-old, and there's this stat that I often hear, and I've quickly just looked it up. It's widely cited, apparently. I'm not sure how true it is, but they say that 95% of adults over the age of 30 never sprint again. So like they'll never even try.
That's a good
And
question.
yeah, and they say that it's like obviously so important for all sorts of stuff like sprinting. Obviously, these people might run, and then you sort of lose track of like what a sprint is to you. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, "Oh, I sprinted for the bus." You haven't probably.
You didn't.
You might have you might have run quick, but you haven't. Like, if you don't do it, you don't know what your 100% effort is or your 90% effort. Yeah, maybe that's
Well,
true.
when was the last time you sprinted, George?
I've been doing, well, it's not been for a couple of weeks, actually. My marathon training has taken a bit of a plummet, but I've been doing 100 meter, 200 meter intervals, 400 meter intervals. And obviously those aren't probably going to be full blast because you're doing reps, but
Yeah, exactly. You've done 100-meter reps.
I've definitely done 200 meters as part of the. I will have done. There's some way you do like pyramids where you do like 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter, 800 meter, 1K, and then come back down again. But even then, you're like, you're thinking ahead to all the future ones. So I haven't done a 100-meter dash for a while.
Yeah. Well, a while. I imagine years. I think I'm really motivated now to go down the track and do 100 meters and see where I stack up against Dominic, because I probably will be very humbled as well. Like, yeah, maybe it's not the wisest thing to do. But also, just to add to Dominic and round this segment off, the video of that race is online, and he's doing it in torrential rain. So conditions were poor, so I'm no doubt he's breaking 16 if conditions were decent. So anyway, tune in, because the next pen relays are April 23rd to 25th, and I wonder if Dominic's coming back to defend that title. I mean, his form's good. There's no reason why he can't come back and do it again. He was looking sharp. So,
so do they, in these relays, will they have like a 30 to 35 age range or something like that, so we could see?
I think, actually, it's a good point. More to dive into, I think, on the pen relays. Let's put it in the content calendar.
That's a good point. We need to build a content calendar.
Non-existing content calendar. Anyway, so yeah, that's been going on. Longevity Kings.
Fantastic. I found that very inspiring. The one story that I saw was actually from yesterday, as of the time of recording. I think this was on the 28th of February, 27th of February. Not important. I'll get to the story, because yesterday we saw the second highest pole vault in history. Noel Karolis at the Greek Indoor Championship cleared 6:17, 6 meters 17, a height that's only ever been cleared by one other human being ever, fellow son of Olympia, who we have spoken about before, Armand Duplantis, who of course is the world record holder many times over in the pole vault, potentially in a league of his own, or maybe he's not anymore, with Emmanuel knocking on his door. And after he got this 6:17 to win the Greek Indoor Championships, he did set the bar at 6:31 to go for the world record, and failed it twice. But that is exciting. That maybe Amal Duplantis might not be feeling quite so safe sat upon his throne at the moment, which would be great. And apparently they are meeting at the end of March at championships. I don't think they are friends. But that would be interesting. He's obviously going to be feeling high, getting a PB, going against the world leader. And, and after this nice clip of him clearing 6:17, he's celebrating loads, and he goes and hugs his dad, who did get him into pole vault and was one of his early coaches, which is very nice and fitting in with the theme of the podcasts. Exciting stuff in the world of pole vault.
Yeah, about time Mondo had some proper competition. And I wonder when the last time that someone was confident enough to even set the bar a world record high and give it a go, because I feel like it's only ever been Mondo. And what's interesting, because I had on my notes, I didn't have what you just said on there, but Mondo has been a bit distracted recently. And this might have just given him a bit of a wake up. He has diverted his attention to singing, and he's released a song. So this guy's diversifying. He's no longer a pole vaulter only by trade. This guy is a singer, and George, you gotta listen. It's so catchy, actually.
Should we pause the recording? What sort of genre?
I think it's like, it's pop, I think. And it's called Feeling Myself. So I think it means like he's feeling a vibe.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I didn't watch the full music video, so I don't know for sure, but I think that's what it means.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's got a catchy riff. So yeah, Mondo maybe needs to just think about where his priorities are going forward.
Because there's nothing that will get the haters talking quite like a distraction. Oh, we shouldn't be in the recording studio. We should be pole vaulting. If he spent less time talking about feeling himself and more time pole vaulting. I'll stop this now.
He should be feeling the pole, not himself.
They mean the same thing.
Anyway, sorry. Right, on to the main body of I feel like was this podcast. Is Winter Olympics is over. LA is 2 years away, and I think it felt like a good time to discuss, evaluate the Olympics and almost be like, well, what would we change and how do new sports get added? Because I feel like this conversation comes around every few years, and everyone's got an opinion, haven't they, on what sports should and shouldn't be in an Olympics.
Yes, they do. I was looking this up, and apparently the figures are still coming in. I wanted to see what the viewers were. I feel like this Winter Olympics has had a lot more hype. Maybe it's just because we started a podcast and we were talking about it all the time. But it's definitely that. It's definitely that. But I was trying to look at, apparently BBC coverage of the games delivered its largest overall audience consumption ever. 83 million streams, more than 44 million streamed hours across BBC iPlayer, BBC website, and the app. So the BBC figures are looking good. I think that the global figures probably still getting gathered, but it does look like it was a popular games. So
yeah,
that's good.
And I think more and more people are probably exposed to, even if they don't sit down and watch on TV, now with the state of social media and the apps, that are just feeding you. You don't need to follow the games to be fed the content. So I think there's been enough viral moments for people to probably engage in a conversation about the Winter Olympics, even if you're not sitting down and watching it.
Yeah. But in terms of could it be better, you want me to go into what sports I would add, or would you want to go into?
Well, we'll get there, because I thought I'd maybe just cover how you even get a sport added to the Olympics, because honestly, once I did a bit of research on this, it's a miracle anything actually makes its way to being included in the Olympics, because it's lengthy. And I'll try and summarize this quickly. So, to be included in an Olympics. I'm going to go through the process. So firstly, a sport must be governed, have an international federation. It must be able to enforce its own anti-doping and have clear competition rules. So basically it has to be a legit sport.
Yeah.
Secondly, it needs to have global popularity. So be widely practiced, makes sense. Otherwise, you're just going to get one sport that's, used in the US and no one else takes part in. So you might think, okay, well, how widely? Weirdly, it's different for men and women. So it's got to be participating in 75 plus countries in 4 continents for a men's event, and only 40 plus countries and 3 continents for a women's event. Kind of odd. But anyway, the general theme is it's got to be globally popular. Next one is no mechanical propulsion. So the sport cannot rely solely on motorization. So I think the key word there is solely. There needs to be some athletic, but it does open the door to motorization, I guess. And it probably, I feel like, more important than ever, it's got to have youth and media attention. So the IOC will prioritize sports that attract younger audiences and generate TV and sponsorship revenue. So it is all about the money these days, I think, and probably that is becoming more and more important, I would say.
Nice. That is interesting. Is there
So
more?
that's that. There is more. Sorry. So that is like what they're the check boxes that need to happen for a sport to even enter the process, right? So if you tick all those boxes, then you can be like, okay, we can now chance our arm at getting in. So then the process, which is the IOC need to recognize you as a sport, as a governing body. The application process starts 6 years before the games that you intend to be in.
Damn.
So yeah, that is crazy. 6 years before you actually think you might even get in the games, you've got to start the process. Then the Olympic Program Commission evaluate the sport based on the history, the popularity, the venue costs. The host nation for that Olympics will then propose new sports to enhance like the local appeal for their area. And then the IOC Executive Board vote on it. And yeah, it will then, that's sort of the verdict then, whether you're in or out. So yeah, loads of hurdles to cover, and I'll call out maybe a couple of sports that have reportedly been close or mentioned in the conversation. And I'll get your thoughts, George. Here are some of the close contenders. Cricket, thoughts? Apparently it's close.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got the global appeal, has it? But then again, it's boring as hell. So it's not obviously it's got. I'm surprised.
Well, I think for cricket to make it in the Olympics, it needs to be in a shorter format. They're not doing test matches over 5 days that could potentially end in a draw. So I think cricket could be included, but it'll need to be tweaked in some way.
Oh yeah, it would have to, especially to get through all the countries, or else it would be like the closing ceremony, and 6 weeks later it's still like quarterfinals of the cricket.
Yeah. Squash has been highly reported. I feel like squash has been close for ages but never included. Highly supported, lots of people play that, but again, I've actually never played squash, but I know a lot of people do.
I have played squash and I do like it, and I'm surprised it isn't in there. I wonder what is holding that one. What's holding that back?
Yeah, maybe it's the racket sports. There's tennis, there's badminton, there's table tennis. And I'll get onto like other sports, but what's coming in the rearview mirror for racket sports is paddle, which is reportedly the fastest growing sport globally. So I feel like that is probably going to jump the queue, I think, and squash again might be.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see the impact that the growing popularity of paddle has had on the other racket sports. Do you know what I mean? Like, people can only play so many sports leisurely. So I would expect that it's had some impact on the squash amount of squash that's going on.
Oh, definitely. There's been some cannibalization for sure in the racket sport community. But I do think paddle has brought people in because I've played it, and I think it is such a great thing. It's sort of the paddle brand seems quite elite, I would say.
Yes. See, I've not played it. I would like to play it, but the image that I have of someone who plays, is it just paddle ball?
Was it padel?
Puddle? Is like it's like a finance bro from the city. Do you know what I mean? Who will go play a few games and have a couple pints afterwards. But then that's the young audience maybe that the Olympics might want. But
and
it's
their
interesting
sponsors definitely want. But what's funny is that's the perception of who plays it. But the sport itself there's honestly nothing to it. Okay, you need a glass box, but you really don't need as much space as a tennis court. I think like 4 paddle courts might fit in the space of a tennis court, but all you need is a bat and a squidgy ball, and the bat's not even high tech. Well, I could be wrong here, but it's just a plastic bat, honestly. So it's very accessible, really, but the whole perception of it is making it maybe not accessible. Anyway, some other sports that are reportedly closed. Netball, obvious one. I'm not sure why that didn't make it. Because netball is big, and in the Commonwealth, well, it's sort of big in the Commonwealth countries, isn't it? I'm not sure it has the global reach, maybe, and maybe that's what's holding it back.
Yeah,
because it's GB, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. Like the US don't know what netball is. I don't think there's, other than South Africa, I don't think many. Yeah, I'm probably wrong there, but anyway. It's probably the global appeal that's holding netball back.
Netball, I'm surprised, is in. I wonder if that's because I wonder if there are sports that are like women only, because it probably would if they did have it in the Olympics. It wouldn't have a men's team. I can't imagine. And again, it's strange that netball is quite a gendered sport. And I wonder if that has an impact.
And another one that is weirdly close that came up on the list, right, is chess, which is recognized by the IOC, but I don't think it's particularly close. But it came up on the list of like sports that are close, and I don't want to get into this like what counts as a sport, but for me, it's a massive no. Chess is not a sport.
It will be. It is interesting. It is interesting. It's a game. And I'm not sure what the difference is between a sport and a game, but because I do remember hearing about how many calories people can burn in the game of chess. It's been the pros, because your brain, obviously me, is like, I put on weight because I'll be eating while I play. But the pros, they're like thinking that far ahead that they're actually burning like loads of calories, which is, because that to me, it's like what I would holds me back on chess being a sport, is that it's like, well, you're not moving the body, you're not burning, you're not getting a sweat on, but they do.
Totally. There's no obvious physical exertion going on other than moving the pieces, which maybe if you do speed chess, maybe a little bead of sweat will be produced. But for me, it's a game, and no doubt it's exhausting because of the thought that goes into it. But for me, it's a big fat no.
And it will open the door to other dubious Olympic things coming in. Like, are we going to have poker or snakes and ladders or Monopoly Go?
Or Dobble, imagine. Wow. Maybe that does count as a sport because that is exhausting. But yeah, you're right. It does open the door, and there has been these dubious things that have been in the Olympics in the past that have come and gone. One, which is insane when I found out, between 1912 and 1948, art was in the Olympics. Just art. And that included architecture, literature, music, painting, and sculpture. So
can you repeat what years? Yeah, what years did it go on?
1912 to 1948. So it
That's
lasted a
quite a
while.
long period of time. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was phased out because in the end they were struggling to judge where the medals should go.
That's crazy. Like, architecture, like how do you
Right, and
are they going to give a gold medal to like
exactly.
someone who was born 100 years ago who created like Brunel for his bridges?
Well, you submitted your like piece of work, and then the judges would then obviously try and make a decision.
Yeah,
But there were some years where they refused to even give out like medals. They'd be like that we don't give out a gold medal because they just thought the work wasn't to the standard, or they gave a gold but no silver and bronze, or 2 silvers. So they would just like the whole thing was a farce.
What a joke,
it sounds
yeah.
like.
We've decided that over the past 4 years, no art has been good enough for the gold medal. Try again next year. That's so silly. I'm amazed that went on for
It
so
is so
long.
silly.
That's good.
It is. And then there's another one that I thought was fantastic, which I actually think they should bring back. And it lasted 5 Olympics. It's so simple. Tug of war.
Oh,
Bring
yes.
it back.
Yes. Yeah. Full
From
100%.
1900 to 1920. Yeah, 2 teams of 8 men was the sport. But you could really open this up. Men's, women's, mixed, age groups. Come on.
Yeah.
Different terrain, on grass, on sand, on mud.
Underwater. That's cool. I can imagine that being one of the original ones, that these ancient Greeks would play. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And again, that would make viral clips. Do you know what I mean? That moment where the whole team falls down and they're all like still holding onto the rope and get like dragged across the middle. You're telling me that TikTok would go crazy for that?
I mean, it was in Squid Games. Of course, there was a bit more jeopardy in Squid Games, but there's a demand for it. I say
good.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then live pigeon shooting was another one.
That's a no for me. Hard no.
That is a hard no, but I mean that sport is involved now. They shoot targets, which is essentially pigeon shooting, isn't it? But when it first started, they just released 300 birds into the sky, and so you could shoot the most. 21 got you a gold medal if you're interested. Back then, but yeah, that didn't last very long. I think that was
and surely just all these birds would just start falling down dead. How would they decide who had shot what? Different coloured bullets.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. But yeah, George. After that, have you got any thoughts? Have you got any sports that you think are worth including, or you'd pitch for?
Yeah. So one that I think should, and I think maybe even will come to the Winter Olympics soon, because Red Bull do it a lot. So it's already like an ongoing event competition, and it's called ice cross, downhill ice skating. So just like snowboard cross, ski cross, where 4 people go at the gates and they bomb it down the hill, there's a giant downhill course of ice and 4 people go down on ice skates. But because it's Red Bull, it's like there's jumps, there's gaps, there's like hairpin turns. I think that you're allowed to shoulder people to a certain extent. So people come down hard, there's big crashes, big falls, but because anyone could fall at sort of any moment, you fall and they're straight back up again. It's like just because you're down doesn't mean that you're not going to win it, because everyone's falling down all the time. And it's crazy. Like I saw that and I was like, then down a YouTube hole of just like watching like biggest hits, biggest falls, best races of the ice cross. That has the excitement. It might be a bit too dangerous perhaps for the Olympics, maybe a bit too X Games, risk of injury, and because they do it in sort of like baggy ice hockey sort of clothing, so it's kind of got that bit of a grit to it that
yeah, but I feel like the danger aspect, I mean, look at some of these sports, they're in the Winter Olympics, there's danger, ski jump, luge, 2-man luge,
Curling.
Danger. Danger is part of it. I think that's a no-brainer to include. I would support that for sure.
Yeah. Have you got any Winter Olympic ones? Or
Winter Olympic. There was some talk on cross-country running being included in the Winter Olympics.
Okay.
For me, it's a no. It feels too much of a stretch to include cross-country running. For me, cross-country running is like running in the mud. It's kind of more, it's winter, but you're not doing that really. It doesn't feel like it has a place in the snow, ice. It's not wintry enough for me. And you have cross-country skiing. Like, come on. For me, it's a no.
I wonder if they don't want to do that because there might be then lots of crossover athletes between maybe even the summer games. Do you know what I mean? Because I think cross-country running is rumored to be in the Summer Olympics, maybe more like of a trail running thing. And then if that was the case, you could if you can run up hills in the mud, you can run up hills in the snow. I reckon there'd be big crossovers then, and then maybe people could be doing both.
I mean, I think we're talking of ultra running and off-road stuff and trails. I think the growth of like these ultra mounting run UTMB races, they will soon deserve a spot. Like imagine 100-mile mountain race would be epic. In the Summer Olympics.
I've put ultra marathon down as well because they are getting more and more popular. They'll definitely have the younger appeal as well. I think people getting more, as running becomes more popular, and with like the word social media and stuff, people want to run, make it harder and harder, and it's actually probably harder. So the ultramarathon's definitely getting popular, and it would be such a cool thing to try and film as well, because you could do it like overnight, and with the drones, and you could see it could be like tactical about when they refuel and how they're gonna. It would be, and I mean, it would be great just to watch these people basically like completely deteriorate as they do this insane feat.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got this one on your list. Shall I say a summer one?
Yeah.
I'd be shocked actually if it's not on your list. Spike ball.
Oh, it's not on mine, but it would be incredible. Absolutely sick. And spike ball deserves its day in the sun.
It does. And you play in the sun, and you don't have to play in the sun, but boy, it's good in the sun. And if for anyone who doesn't know what spike ball is, it's essentially a small little net, circular net that's placed on the floor, maybe, I don't know, half a foot above the floor, maybe not even that, on just a small little circle, and you have a tiny little ball, maybe like twice the size of a tennis ball, and is it 2-on-2 or 3-on-3? I can't remember, George, what the official rules are. 2-on-2, and it's kind of like volleyball, but instead of going over the net, you have to bounce it off the net on the floor. It's hard to explain, but it's actually very simple. YouTube highlights of it, best rallies. It would be an amazing Olympic sport.
Yeah, and it's great. It's brilliant to play. And I reckon if you're watching the pros, it would be amazing to watch as well. You would get these, they're moving around. They've got the athleticism. It's just because it's a small ball, you're just using your hand. It's fun. It's fun. That one would be really good. It might not have the global appeal, but something that definitely does have the global appeal that I think they should bring in, and it would have been good for LA, is one-on-one basketball.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is what kids are playing all over the world in parks across the planet. And one-on-one is like, basketball is a team game, but it definitely has an aspect of star power, the superstar on the team. If you have one incredible player, you can go very far with the basketball team. And there's always talk about who's the best. Is it Jordan? Is it LeBron? This could be very good. It would bring out the stars from the NBA, maybe people on the same team, and I think it would be great because you got to do it all: offense, defense, trash talk, it would be fun. It would
It
be
would
interesting.
be
Yeah.
amazing. And I would love to see if any of the NBA players would be brave enough to enter it as well, because there's so much talk around like, oh, I beat you in one-on-one, but they never play it in an actual, it's never really documented or like filmed. So we don't actually know.
Yeah.
And this is what's played on the streets. There's films about one-on-one, and 3-versus-3 basketball has been introduced, which I don't think anyone, I mean, I can understand it, but it's just one-on-one would be even more exciting, I think. Totally different type of player and different sort of skill set to be good at that, I think.
Yeah. And like you said, it would be good to see
yeah.
if these egos, these multi-millionaires in the NBA, if they can handle the pressure of being center stage, the reputation on the line. And it would be great just to get then maybe some like unknown player from Europe, do you know what I mean, come up playing one-on-one on the streets.
Exactly.
And then takes down Kevin Durant for the gold. It would be sick.
Yeah, it would be. I feel like we could talk about this for a very, very long time.
Yes.
In the interest of time, should we move on to, as we've talked our dream sports, should we go on to our next seggy? Or is there anything you want to round this off with, George?
Just one last one. Saw it online, and I think it might have been people playing this on like a frozen lake, but it's like tennis on ice skates, and it looked a lot of fun.
I think you could just add that to any sport on ice skates.
Golf on ice skates. One-on-one basketball.
Here we are, guys.
On ice skates.
We can move on. I would like to bring up darts at another point, but I think that's a whole nother conversation around whether darts should be in or not. Anyway, so from dream sports to dream guests for our podcast, our Olympics, which is this podcast. So we had a little taste of success with Crammy. So it's sort of whet our appetite, hasn't it, for what could be.
We're now hungry for more guests. Yeah.
So with that, George, take it away. We've done a bit of individual brainstorming, and let's come to the table with a couple of our dream guests.
So I think this was my first thought, and I think it's dream guest, but also I think we could get them if we believe strong enough. And I say them because there's two, and they are the Brownlee brothers, Alistair and Jonathan Brownlee, because I think they were the stars, I think, when we were, I don't know, riding our bikes a lot. We both went to Leeds Uni, and I was actually on my bike a couple of times and saw them both out riding their bikes, and we were like, it's the Brownlee brothers. And they've just got such an incredible story. They have that viral moment of Alistair getting Jonathan over his arm. We're brothers. It would be interesting to talk to them about that sort of brotherly rivalry. I think there's a lot we could go into with them. And my favourite thing about them, there is a third Brownlee brother, which I think
yes, there is.
Yeah. And it would be great to get him on as well. See, I don't even know his name. I didn't even look at his name.
I would love to get all three of them on. Maybe the third Brownlee deliberately keeps himself to himself, but I would say Johnny and Alistair, very inspirational for us, and why we sort of got into cycling a little bit. And also I definitely did triathlons because I was inspired by them. Interestingly, I once worked for a sports nutrition company, and I pitched that we should sponsor the Brownlees. It didn't happen, but that's how inspirational they were for me. I was rooting for them in a job. But anyway, that's a really good one.
This is how I think we should do the interview when they come on the show. The camera's just on them the whole time. We just chat to them. And then at the end, we're like, so, other Brownlee brother. And he just pans out slightly. He's been there the whole time, but just sat in the shadows. What's it like being the one that Everyone forgets. So what was your name again? I'm just going to say Brownlee 3. Brown 3. There's something there. Ooh.
If they listen to this podcast, we've ruined it.
They'll like it. They'll be like,
Well, we'll
"Look at
do
this."
the same. We'll do the same, but with Sarah, and we'll just, and there will be Sarah there, and they can have their own chat, maybe.
They're talking to each other off camera. Like, shush. Will you two be quiet?
Oh, that's good.
So,
That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
What about you?
Right, I haven't quite gone with the realistic aspect, but it would be.
The Brownlees are
funny.
realistic. Let's be real.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We've got the Olympic, link there.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Brooklyn Beckham.
Okay, you're going to have to fill me in a little bit. So Brooklyn is the one that's been in the news recently for cutting out the family.
Oh, come on, George.
Is that Brooklyn?
Wake up, get out of your
I don't know.
cave.
There's a couple. There's a couple of
There's
Beckham
Brooklyn,
boys.
there's Cruz, there's Romeo, there's Harper. I think that's
It's
the four
definitely
of them.
Brooklyn then, isn't it?
I
'Cause
mean,
that's the one that I know.
I'm saying we could. Let's get them all on. But if I want to talk to anyone, I want to talk to Brooklyn.
Let's get the whole family on. Come on, guys, we can sort this out.
Mainly because
what's all this about? Why don't we all just get along?
Look, Brooklyn, sorry to blindside you, but we've also got another guest. It's your parents, and they are here today, and we will reconcile it live on the pod.
So, what about Brooklyn?
Yeah, I don't think it's realistic.
Why do you want Brooklyn?
Well, maybe it's son of David. Is there anything else, really? The fact that I feel like he tried his hand at football and, didn't make it. There was obviously quite a lot of pressure on him. Firstborn, had his name on his dad's boots, and everyone knew his name. He was brought onto the pitch. He played in a charity game, I think, one of the Soccer Aid games. And, I feel like we feel like we haven't fulfilled our potential, but Brooklyn, I feel like, has had so much heat, not just across football, but in quite a few other things he's tried to pursue.
Yeah.
So he probably doesn't want to speak to us, in fact, to talk about any of that.
No.
But
should we talk about your photography career? Well, not much of a career, was it? How about your cookbook? I feel kind of bad for him because
hot sauce, though. Yeah,
I do feel kind of bad for him because, like, being born into such a celebrity family, they must have been like, oh, he's got to be something. So I feel like there probably was pressure from mum and dad to go into oh, it wasn't football. How about photography then? Do you know what I mean? I can imagine that and everyone just cheeked him for being crap at everything. But I can imagine that
totally.
David and Victoria put some heat on as well. That's a good guest. That's a good guest.
Yeah. We could again go on this forever, I think, but I think it would be nice to. So I just reel off a couple of others that I had on my list. I had Jonathan Edwards on there. We've talked about him. I think he would be great to talk about, and also then Bronny James, son of LeBron.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Speaking of pressure, yeah, fantastic. I've put down Seb Coe. Ran with Dad, lots. We could talk about them. We could try just together, all Dad's old teammates together. We could do a reunion. And I've just put also Michael Jordan. and I would only speak to him about Space Jam. So what's Daffy Duck like? Is Taz as crazy as he seems?
Are you still friends with the Monstars? Oh, great. Well, great. We'll get to work on those. If anyone's got any contacts for any of those names above, do drop us a note.
If anyone could just drop Michael Jordan or Bronny James's numbers in the comments, we'll get in touch.
We will. Right, let's finish up with a quick podium pick.
Okay.
Podium picks. Right, George, very quickly. Here are your three options. There are three theoretical options. Rank them: gold, silver, or bronze. Would you rather win a gold medal in a relay. These are all athletics. Win a gold medal in a relay. Number 2, a silver medal in an individual event. Or 3, break a world record in a random athletics meeting. So not an Olympics or a World Championships.
Damn. That is tough. I think it would either be the gold medal or the world record. I think I would go for the gold medal in the relay. And I think because, like, obviously you're only contributing to 25% of that medal. You can't win it unless everyone delivers perfectly. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're still got to do it all exactly right, and then you get gold medal. And I think it might be even nicer to share it with teammates. Do you know what I mean? Have a nice big party afterwards. So that I'm going to go that gold, but probably world record silver and individual silver bronze. Just because it would be so cool to break a world record, get your name in those history books.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think that's a good order. And as we said about the medal table, a gold is a gold, and gold means a lot when it comes to medals.
Yeah.
So don't take away the value of that gold medal. So yeah, fair enough.
Nice.
Good,
I've got
good
a
ranking.
quick podium pick for you. You ready? Okay,
ready.
so which of these is the longest/tallest? Okay, so we've got the tallest giraffe ever measured, Duplantis's world record in the pole vault, or the largest ever great white shark.
Wow. My gut tells me that the shark, my gut tells me the shark is the shortest out of all those. But then again, I have seen the Meg, and they are huge in the Meg
I'm
films.
not talking about the Megalodon.
I know you're not talking about the Megalodon. I'm going to go bronze is the shark. Second, I'm going to go with the giraffe, and the top one I'm going with Mondo. So gold, Mondo, silver, giraffe, bronze, shark.
Okay, so gold, we've got Mondo, 6 meters 30. It's world record. That is top. Silver is actually the largest ever great white, a female called Deep Blue, 6.1 meters, and then the tallest ever giraffe, 5 meters 80 in bronze.
Really?
Yeah.
My gosh, that is a massive shark.
That's what I was researching just mere moments before you press record.
It's funny how our brains are different, aren't they? Fantastic. What a way to wrap up the pod.
Yeah, nice. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. As always, if you enjoy the show, follow along on whatever you're listening to us on, give us a review. Send us some questions, and we'll get to them in another episode. All right, everybody.
Right. See you on the next one.
See you later.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Ta-ra. Ta-ra.